life you've lived, the work you've done, and the people you've asked for forgiveness when you trespass against them. This is Cheryl Underwood Radio, 319 affiliates strong. Balling. With a reach of, it got to be 15 million people by the combined signal strength of those 319 affiliates. Wow. Be blessed, be safe, let's support each other, and be easy.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
you can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row. And
you are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right. What's up, family? Welcome to the Black Body Man Radio Show. I am your host, Brother Mike, along with my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice.
Yes.
How you doing today, Miss Janice?
Very good.
That's what's up. So we want to welcome everybody to the show today. We're going to send out some invites, see if we can get you guys to hang out with us for the next hour or so. And what we talking about today? Today's going to be a good show. It's another exciting episode of Constructive or Destructive. So for those who are just joining us, this is a new segment that we included with the Black Body Man Radio Show. So we try to do this at least once a month where we select certain topics and try to have a discussion if it's constructive or destructive for black people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But let's go ahead and get into current events. But you know what? How was your weekend? Let me ask that first. How was your weekend?
My weekend was very good.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Anything exciting or?
Well, you know, the most exciting things for my weekends be work.
Okay. Getting that money. Chasing that dollar. I understand. Get that money. I'm going to send out some invites here.
Hopefully I don't have to chase that dollar as much. Right now, the chase is on.
It's kind of the American way, you know what I mean?
For now. For now.
Right.
That shutdown, you know, kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes. It just goes to show how fast, you know, your money can be taken away.
Well, we're going to talk about that, ain't we?
Well, I'm going to talk about, you know, in current events, the shutdown ending, that 35-day shutdown being over, but...
Oh, is it over?
Yes. It's over for 3 weeks, at least.
Ew. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think, you know, Trump gave them like 3 weeks to work out something. Mm-hmm. So, as far as right now...
That's where we at with that?
Yeah. Did the shutdown, that 35-day shutdown, did it accomplish anything?
I don't know. Let's talk. Let's talk current events. Talk to me.
I'm just saying, did it accomplish anything aside from people paychecks being held up and...
Again, I don't know. Tell me, current events, you tell me.
I'm going to go out to say no. Like, the whole shutdown was behind this wall that we still don't have no type of deal for.
Okay.
So, you held up people money, you held up people's lives, and now a lot of things is going to be behind because the government wanted to shut down. I think they shut down because what? They can.
Absolutely. Do whatever they want.
Because they can. Simply just because they can. But
right.
Anyway, hopefully in 3 weeks, we'll see. I believe they'll work something out within the 3 weeks. I don't believe we'll be going through this again in 3 weeks. I think we just went through it for the last 35 days just because. Just because if they wanted to shut the government down, they could. That's all. I don't think it was about the wall.
You don't think it was about the wall?
Are we getting a wall?
She asking me questions.
No, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's about the wall. Because was a decision made about the wall?
I don't know. I have not been up on it at all. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
looking for you to clue me in.
It wasn't.
On what's going on with current events.
Well, no.
Okay.
No decision was made about the wall, which leads me to believe that.
So tell me about this.
It wasn't about the wall.
The temporary, you know, what did he call it? Reinstatement, maybe?
Yes, for 3 weeks. I think they have till February the 15th to work out something about Trump's wall, which means it doesn't have to be the $5 billion he was asking for.
Okay.
It just have to be a plan that eventually this wall will happen. You know, something that they could have did without having to have this 35-day shutdown. It's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
The shutdown simply was because they just can. They can shut the government down.
They can definitely do whatever they want. I don't think it was
no legitimate reason other than that.
Some say it was, you know, just Trump having a fit.
That's what,
you know,
exactly.
like a childish fit.
So, a petty fit.
A petty fit.
Like I said, it wasn't about the wall because there's no plan of the wall. So, obviously, it wasn't about the wall. That's just, we're in that there.
Okay. I'm with that.
We were shut down for 35 days simply because.
Right.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay.
All right, it's official. Kamala Harris and Daphne Bradford, 2 black women candidates for president.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I don't really have a background on either one of them. But that is one of the constructive or destructives today. I did see something on Facebook with Kamala Harris and the person who posted it. And again, I don't know what's true and what's not. But what they posted was Kamala Harris broke a state record for locking up the most African American males in the history of her state.
Yeah.
So, if that's true, I don't see what people are excited about this woman running for president. It may mean your ass is going to jail. I'm just saying. That's what I saw. I don't know what's true and what ain't, but that is what I saw, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting little tidbit there.
I kind of heard some similarities, and I kind of heard some other things as well, but haven't completely did my research on it, so I can't say it's true or not true.
Yeah, I don't know what's true or not, but usually when people put out stuff like that, a lot of times they're basing it off some type of statistic that they found somewhere.
Okay though, because we will get the information out there.
Yeah, if they based it on some type of
you will be hearing about it
statistic
in current events, because BBD will be bringing it to you in current events.
We're gonna bring it to you live.
Yes, because this is something we will follow. Not only, you know, just we have African women running, but just the mere fact that we do have women. You know,
yeah, like that's nice.
That's
you know what I mean?
Like
I'm definitely not mad at that.
Yeah, because I could tell you, like, normally, you know, when we doing these.
Billy Oz said Fox News told him to do that. You funny, Bill. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in with us, my man.
All I know is somebody said something, because whatever the reason they gave us just wasn't the reason. But yeah, this is actually something that I will follow.
Okay.
So, we will hear about this more in current events.
Miss Samantha Nicole Dennis says budget wasn't passed because Trump wants funding for the wall. Okay, yeah, I think I did know that. I think I did know that.
So,
but as far as the female president, that's what I saw in regards to. Is it Kamala or am I saying it right? Kamala? Okay. Yeah. So I didn't look into it to see if it was anything else to it, but I feel like that's not a statement somebody would make without having some type of, you know what I mean, statistic to back that up.
Like I said, I've heard some things. I did hear some things.
Right.
But I just don't want to, you know, quote it right now.
Right. I got you. Until we find out what's really going on.
Until we do some homework on it.
Yeah. What's really going on here?
Right. But for now, you know, we do have some sisters running for president.
Okay, now tell me about the other woman. I'm not familiar with her either. Are you familiar with her?
Daphne Bradford. No, I'm still doing research on both of them, but I just wanted to officially say that they were president candidates.
Okay,
I just wanted
that's what's up. Big up to the sisters.
Announcement.
Hopefully Kamala ain't, that statistic ain't true, but somewhere in my heart. I feel like it may be, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But that's what I saw on Facebook, because someone was saying, they was basically saying, like, we got to stop getting excited just because somebody pops up with color in their skin. If you check this woman's record, she broke a state record for locking black people up, black males in particular. So,
Well, and I understand that too. We have to stop getting excited, but I'm always excited, when my sisters are out doing something.
See the sisters doing something, right.
I always have to get excited.
Yeah,
so.
well, hopefully the excitement is not short-lived. Hopefully it's not short-lived. Because if she broke a state record for locking up black people, she's definitely not getting my vote. Definitely not getting it.
Yeah, we will have to talk about.
I don't care what she do.
We will have to talk about some things. We will have to discuss some things.
You ain't getting by.
We will have to do that. So, anyway.
Rebel Radford, what's up, my brother? I appreciate you tuning in with us, brother. That's what's up. Okay, what else we got going on?
Speaking of black men, black billionaire Robert Smith donated $1.5 million to Morehouse College, and that money will go towards scholarships for students. And the addition of a new outdoor study area for them. So,
got to pull that out the cut for this.
So,
hey, Robert Moore.
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith. You get a bell, my brother.
So
you get a bell.
Yeah, that was really good. And
you said this was Morehouse?
Morehouse.
And how much? You give him $1 million?
1.5 million.
Woo, $1.5 million. Brother. So. I think him and I might be related somewhere along the lines.
Could be. It's a small.
I get related to people when money start popping up on the scene. Like, that's my cousin. What else? Anything?
Yeah, Spike Lee is finally nominated for Best Director, Best Picture.
Oh, about time.
Oscars.
Big up Spike Lee.
Definitely big up Spike Lee.
Let me tell you, Spike Lee was trying to wake us up and we didn't know it, right? I went back as an adult and watched School Days. Oh my God. Like, Spike Lee put so many messages in the movie School Days. I didn't catch it back then. I only caught a couple of them. Like, I specifically remember at the end of the movie not understanding why Robert Fishburne was hollering, "Wake up." Of course, as an adult, I understand it, but it shows you the lack of teachings that I had back then, because I didn't get it. I didn't get that. Remember at the end of the movie, he's just screaming, "Wake up."
Yes, wake up, yes.
Right. Now we know what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
Wake up. Now we know.
I know, but that's so funny, because look how long ago that was.
Right.
Look how long ago they were screaming for us to wake up.
Right.
And look where we are now, and yet,
because
so
School Days was literally, wasn't that, it was in the 80s, wasn't it? Wasn't that late 80s?
Yes.
Late 80s.
So look how long ago they've been screaming to tell us to wake up. So, even Spike said, it's not about winning, but it is for him about being nominated. Right,
because Spike's been through a lot of stuff to get a lot of his films produced, because, of course, the white bankers and, I guess backers in media, they wouldn't give him money to do a lot of his films. So a lot of times he had to reach out to the individual black people who he could help him get this done, whether it's Oprah or Denzel, Jay-Z, like people of that nature. So it would make sense that they wouldn't want to give him anything for a long time, because A, they don't like the content of his movies, and then B, the fact that they pulled the plug, meaning they not giving you the money to do it. So in their eyes, it's supposed to die.
Right.
Spike go out and find some black people who can help increase his budget to get it done. So that's what's up. I'm glad he's getting recognition for that.
Congratulations to Spike Lee.
Because we should have been recognizing him ourselves. You get what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Spike, right. I apologize, man. That we didn't give you the recognition we should have, because Spike been trying real hard for years.
Well, Spike do understand. Wake us up. He is the one that put at the end of the movie, "Wake up."
Wake up. He definitely understood.
Sure, he understands that.
Trying to get us to wake up.
So then I want to talk about the 4 12-year-old black girls that were allegedly strip searched at their New York school.
For what?
Well, they were giggling and had a little bit of hyper behavior. So to the administrators of the school, that was enough for them to think that maybe they possibly had possession of drugs or something. Maybe they've been taking drugs because they're doing what little girls do. Giggle and laugh and, you know, talking amongst each other. So apparently, they were strip searched. I believe 3 of the girls were like stripped down to their underwears and bras. I think one of the girls, you know, didn't do it. So she was suspended for refusing to remove her shirt and pants.
Okay.
But the parents wasn't contacted, you know, upon any of this happening. Like, the parents wasn't told until their kids actually went home from school to tell their parents.
Wow.
Normally, if you're going to be strip searching a 12-year-old, I thought, you know, the guardian had to be notified or something.
Right. Like, you're not even supposed to strip search a 12-year-old.
They said, I mean, even though the school district said that they didn't strip search them, they said they was conducting a medical evaluation. They said sometimes during the evaluation, if you have on like bulky clothes, that it have to be removed, you know, in order for them to get vitals, such as blood pressure and things of that nature. But, you know, I still don't see why you have to get down to your undies and bra.
You don't.
For blood pressure.
Right. That sounds like excuses for some wrongdoings.
I mean, they had to do sobriety tests. Like, they was putting these girls through it, and still for their parents not to be contacted while this was happening.
Wow. That's terrible. Mike Baker says that's BS. That's what's up, Mike Baker. I agree with you, brother. It's a bunch of BS.
I think that's like beyond terrible. Like,
it is.
These are 12-year-old little girls.
Right.
Like, you know, with everything that, you know, the black little girls have to face right now, just, you know, these type of things, it just don't help. That's all. But again, we've been on this path for a while now. It's through tragedy, but I'm hoping it plays a part in waking people up to see what's really going on. Do you get what I'm saying? Well, yeah, I do. So far, up to this point, nothing's been done to the administrators or anybody. Nothing's been done about it.
Copy.
So the parents just, you know, right now, they're very upset.
All right, 30 seconds. I'm going to read a comment real quick. This is from Mr. D. Brown. Thank you for tuning in with us. He says, people are so used to watered down sermons, information. That's why it's hard for people to have a general conversation about anything without someone getting upset. Yeah, true. I agree, brother. I agree. So listen, we are up on our first commercial break. Stay with us. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are currently doing current events. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
Real. You right. That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to. If the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is. Radio show.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Today's show is one of our new segments we added in, towards the end of 2018, called Constructive or Destructive. But we're finishing up current events.
We're done with current events.
We're done with current events?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll read a couple comments here. Robin Brown says, the black girls that was stripped in the search in school is bullshit. And if it was my child being searched, it would be a lawsuit against the school big time. I agree. I would definitely pursue legal action for some stuff like that. I mean, like, things are just out of control right now, you know? Like, I just hope we wake up and see what's really happening here.
I'm just...
You know, I've been spelling it on the wall since 2017, you know? But I hope we catch on and wake up, man. Like, at the end of the day, I know it's something that we as black people have refused to face, at least over the years I've been on earth. We have an enemy. Just wake up to that reality. Your enemy accepts that they're your enemy. You don't accept that they're your enemy. You know, so the moment you can realize who your enemy is, then you can start preparing a defense to protect your children as well as yourself. But as long as we keep staying in denial, or we keep trying to make excuses and, you know, come up with these justifications, we're going to keep being victims. Brother Mike is not interested in being a victim or having my people being victimized. So part of my strategy with that is just to come direct and give you the straight truth. You know, like I feel like, again, it's just my opinion, but I feel like we have become more comfortable with watching what happens on Facebook than we are with actually discussing it. That's the best way I can put it. Now, I could be wrong. That's just my take on that. But I feel that as a community of people, we are more comfortable watching a white person do something to a black person live on Facebook, video or whatever, than we are with sitting down and discussing the racism we face. That's taboo, right? But yet people getting harassed, killed, choked out and all that, oh, we cool with that. So I just have a problem with that. I think at some point, you know, we're going to have to, you know, talk. We're going to have to talk.
Yeah, you definitely going to have to talk. And this is like one of the big reasons why you need to be talking to your kids now because of situations like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is a comment from Miss D. Brown. She says, I realize if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. Bingo.
Because even if those kids had just a little knowledge on what was going on, even before when they said we was going to strip search you, somebody should have asked to call their parents. Like, okay, hold up. I'm going to need to call my mom.
So we watching strip searches in schools. We watching rustlers get their dreads cut off, right? Little girls getting suspended for having Afro puffs, which you kind of got right now, right? But yet, you know, no one wants to face this harsh truth of what we're up against. I want to use a quote from Dr. Henry Clark. If you guys get a chance, look him up. He's one of our elders that's passed away. But Dr. Henry Clark was famous for this quote. He said, as an African American or black American, black person, you have no friends. Understand that. Nobody likes you. Okay? Do you get what he's saying when he means that?
Yes.
You have no friends. So I'm just waiting for the day where we stop trying to force people who don't like us to be our friends. I so love that statement when he said it. You have no friends. Nobody's on your side. Like, yes, there's individual people within different races that we all get along with, maybe even love, right? But you got to look at things as a community of people. As a community of people, I see what he's saying. You don't have no friends. White people don't like you. Asian people don't like you. Mexican people don't like you. Middle Eastern Indians don't like you. You do not have any friends. So when are we going to wake up and start teaching our children the reality of this world instead of having them going out here looking for needles in the haystack to find that person that they want to consider as their friend and love? Like, in this society, I believe that the way we are taught when it comes to racism is in reverse. So as black people, we're taught you should not look, say, like at a white person and assume that they're a racist until they show you that they are. I believe that's programmed by them because it should be the exact opposite. This society is dominated by racism. So when you deal with a white person or a person of another race, you should assume that they're a racist, especially a white person. You should assume that they are racist within a society that is a racist society and they are on the winning team. Why would I naturally assume they don't feel that way? So you should really assume they are a racist until they prove to you that they're not. And then once they show that they're not, then you can say, no, I know this person. This person's not like that. But they have us on the exact opposite. We walk around assuming that they're not, and damn near majority of them are. You know what I'm saying? And then we end up in situations. So I'm the exact opposite. If you're a white American, I'm assuming you're a racist. I'm sorry. That's what it is. They got assumptions on me as a black male. I got assumptions on them. If you prove that you're not of that nature, then I will accept that and be happy about that. But the reality is they're being trained to be this way from day one. Right? Growing up, day one, from parents, family, friends, and then everything else within this society also points to training them to being racist. And we walking around assuming that they're not. No, you should assume that they are and let them prove to you that they're not. Because if they're not, it's going to show.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that statement. They do have assumptions on us as soon as we walk through the door. Because you know, it's obvious. Absolutely.
So I think they trained us to look at it backwards. You know what I mean? Like, as much as we deal with racism and discrimination, they also trained us to be fearful of being that person ourselves. You know, so you're in a position as a black American where they trained you to just accept racism and discrimination. You know, as the older folks say, going all the way back through slavery, white people have always wanted black people to suffer in silence. Yeah, we know it hurts. Yes. You know what I'm saying? We know he shot you, but don't keep telling us about it. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, just kind of let us do our thing, right?
Don't keep saying it over.
Don't keep saying it over and over. I can't keep listening to what my people do to you.
It don't matter how many times we do it. Like,
over and over again.
Stop it.
Over and over again. And like I said, without taking people down the spiritual, you know what I mean, rabbit hole. But I did say 2019, like, things are going to get worse. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is all deals with biblical prophecy, but that's not what our show is about. So I'm not going to go down that road, but just trust and believe you are in a stage of prophecy according to that Bible, if you believe in that Bible. And according to that Bible, it's going to be some things taking place. You are no longer going to keep being able, as a black person, to turn a blind eye to this racism. They're going to bring it to your doorstep. It's coming to your doorstep.
It's still so sad, though, that, you know, we've even turned a blind eye this far, this long. It's still so sad, because even when we bring current events and we bring some stories, like, there are so many stories out here about our kids that we do not bring. And even, you know, as you're reading these stories, looking into it, it's sad.
It's very sad.
It's so sad what happens to our kids. It's devastating.
Mike Baker says it sends a false message to us as a people. Bingo. And I agree. Nobody else is teaching their kids what we're teaching our kids. Okay, we're teaching our kids something that deals with universalism. Nobody else is doing that. Everybody else is teaching their kids, stay away from them black kids. They're thugs, they're this, they're thieves, they're that. And we're running around telling our kids, just love everybody. Just love. Everybody loves you, and it's just not real.
Everybody loves you. Everybody's equal.
Everybody's equal, and it's not true.
It's terrible.
And color doesn't matter. That's the one that kills me. That's a personal pet peeve of mine, that we tell our children color doesn't matter in a world, in a society where nothing matters more than the color of your skin, and we tell our children color doesn't matter. That disturbs me. That disturbs me deep, because we got too much history to know that that's not true. We got 400 years of history that our color matters, and we got the nerve to tell our children I can't. You know what? Let's move on. Let's get this show started. Y'all gonna get me riled up on this Monday morning, man. I'm telling you, I can't. I just can't.
Because we can do this all day.
Yeah, I'll be here all day with this. You know, because I'm passionate about it. Yes, Mike said it hurts, but love is what's needed to drive out hate. Yeah, true. And I believe that truly loving your kids is going to tell them the reality of this world. You get what I'm saying? You know, like, to me, that's real love. You know, teach your kids the reality and hope they don't have to face it. But at least if they do, they'll have some type of preparedness about it, right?
Exactly.
But like I said, I can. All right, so let's get on to the show. So today we are talking constructive or destructive. So for those who are not aware, we have certain topics that we pick, and then we have a discussion and try to decide, is this constructive or destructive for us as a community of people? So the first one up to the plate is what you had already spoke on, which is female president, having a woman as president. Is this constructive or destructive? Yeah, this is a tough one right here. I'm almost scared to give my answer on this.
Right, because we can kind of change this question around, like, yeah, can this be constructive or destructive?
Oh, how about
having a female president?
Okay, let's see if we can word this a little better. Maybe is America ready for a female president? Yeah, see, I reworded it.
Yes. I can tell you this. I can tell you this much. At least about my own personal opinion, I can tell you this much. Normally, you know, when we get our presidents, I don't I don't follow things a lot, you know, as far as what's going on with the president, what they're doing, so forth and so on, with all the wars going on and everything that they're doing. I can tell you, if we had a female president, I think I would be up on everything, because at this point, I need to know everything. I would need to know, like, everything. Only because, I don't know. It's a tough one.
That's a tough one? It's
tough. But I can tell you that, you know, I would support my female president.
Absolutely. And I would expect you to say that as a woman.
I would support her, but I would have to follow everything. Like, I would have to follow everything, because I would feel a sense of, I don't want to say danger, but I would feel like, you know, we might have some things coming our way.
Okay. Okay.
That's how I would feel.
So Miss D Brown says yes. And Mike Baker says America isn't ready for a female president. White America, that is, right? And I'm glad you said that, brother, because that was going to kind of be, I was going to detail the question a little more, right? So the first part is America ready for a female president? Now, part two, because we know with the whole Hillary thing, America seemed to be ready, right? Because Hillary was doing pretty good, right? But Hillary's white. So the deeper part of the question is America ready to have a black woman as president? Now, of course, me personally, I think a sister would do a better job, you know, than a European, you know, like, and I say that just based on, you know, statistics alone, let alone the fact that I'm black.
Right.
But I mean, the reality is, and this is just my perspective, we all agree that white people run the world, America in particular. Okay, well, shit is jacked up.
Right.
Okay, so it's about time for y'all let somebody else get the reins, you know, to that. And the last time we had anything close to peace was when a black man was running things. So I'm all for a sister giving it a shot.
And, you know, even when, you know, the black man was running things, you know, Michelle was out doing all kinds of things, which
true,
says that, you know, like, a woman, you know, she can do it.
It's no doubt that a woman can do it. Miss Talisha Johnson says women are very emotional. Now, that's going to be the that is going to be, I think, the biggest concern for people.
See, and that's my only concern, and that's the only reason I say that. Yeah, I would have to keep an eye on.
Maybe we give her like a 90-day trial. They give you like a 90-day trial. Let's see how this works.
I don't follow too much when it comes to the president, but I would have to be following this daily.
Okay, so let me throw this out there also, right? Because I feel that these are other things we have to take in consideration. Will the respect of America become lost if we have a female leader? Now, I'm saying that in the essence of the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Because all the other countries have men as leaders. Are they now going to see America as being weak or more vulnerable? Like, you get what I mean? Do you think that would have an impact?
As a black woman, I don't see them accepting it right away. A black woman president, I see a lot of people having problems with it.
Okay, I'm going to read a few comments. So Miss D Brown says she's just as qualified. I'm assuming it's supposed to be as white America. Black America, it didn't matter if you feel it's your time, then it's your time. Men are just as emotional behind closed doors. Okay. She said men are just as emotional. I respectfully disagree with that, but I will defend your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I will defend it, right?
All I can say is those first ladies are not first ladies for nothing, okay?
True. Mike Baker says they gave us a black man so that we would shut up and allow what's happening now. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Everybody should have known after the black president, we about to get hit with some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with him on that. Let's see here. Mike also says, yes, we would be seen as weak. So that's what I'm asking. You know what I mean? Like, even if we as a country could handle it, and back her 100%, right? What effect is this going to have on the rest of the world? Because you got to remember, it's men that run the world, right? Yeah. So they might look at, oh, they got a female president now. Gosh. Yeah, they've been weakened. we about to go in on them.
Oh, goodness.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we about to go in. So I'm just kind of wondering, you know, are we actually ready for that? And again, I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't really matter to me one way or another. I'm one of them black people where I just feel like the position of being president has never had an impact on black people. It doesn't really matter to us who's the president because it ain't going to change much for us. I love Obama to death. Let me put my disclaimer out there. I think Obama was the best president in the history of the United States. But if I have to then switch over to what he actually did for black people in the black community, that's a whole nother story, you know?
It never.
But I thought he was great.
It never really mattered to me either. But if you're talking about a sister president, it's going to matter to me at that point.
Right. I'll meet Mr. James Copeland. Jay, what's up, my brother? Jay says she's way more qualified than what we have now. I just wonder, does she have a black agenda even though she's married to a white man? Hey, hey Jay, I just spoke on how somebody put on Facebook that she broke the record for locking up African-American males in her state. So, brother, you know what I mean? I'm with you, you know, like...
she's not the only one now. She's not the only
black
candidate.
Okay, well, the other sister.
Okay, yes, we do have another
what's her name?
Daphne.
Daphne, I don't know anything about you, but I'm going to tell you, you got points up on Kamala if you ain't break no state records for locking black people up. You're already closer to getting my vote.
So she's not the only one.
So she's married to a white man, is what Jay said. Okay. Interesting. I'm losing trust, but interesting. Kamala, my vote ain't looking good for you.
Oh, God.
All right. So Miss D. Brown says if we can carry all those big head boys in our bellies, we can do anything. I'm going to agree with that. I'm agree with that, Miss D. Brown. Women are super duper. You know what I mean? Super women.
And let me just, you know, put it out there. Like that's the biggest reason, you know, I had to mention it today. Right. Just because of the whole women thing.
Sure. I mean, I generally think that women are stronger than men in a lot of different areas, especially when it comes to, say, mental anguish and pain. Right? You know, like everybody knows when men get sick, we're worthless, right? He got a cold, he called out for a week, right? Whereas women are more tough. So I would never want to take away from the toughness of a woman, let alone the toughness of the queen of civilization, which is a black woman, right? So I agree. I know it's no doubt that a woman could get the job done.
Right. And just the fact that she's even willing to accept all of these challenges, because even what we're sitting here saying today, you know, like they know this, like they know they're going to get all of this. So just the fact that they're willing to even accept all of these challenges and still, you know, run a campaign, I think it's great. Okay, yeah, I'm agree with that. I'll read another comment here. This is Preston Fisher, and it says, what did black people expect Obama to do for them? That is a good question. What is it that we actually expected? Now, the reason why I think that's such a great question, right, is because I follow Dr. Anderson. And Dr. Anderson is the one who brought to my attention, he said, now, do the research on Dr. Anderson. He's the real deal. Dr. Anderson's been in the White House for over 40 years. He is who wrote the affirmative action. He was up underneath Jimmy Carter and a couple other presidents. He was in charge of, because he's an ex-Marine, he's like in charge of the first... what do they call it? Post-traumatic syndrome stuff. So, you know, wrote a bunch of books. He's definitely a leader. But he was always known for saying that black people play politics for fun. And what he means is we'll get behind voting for somebody, right? But then when the person doesn't do any of the stuff that they said they were going to do, which is why we voted for them, we don't hold them accountable for it. Like, we don't come back at them, or we don't wait to the next term and say, listen, don't nobody vote for him. And I just thought that was interesting. He said we don't have a plan when we go to vote. So that fits right in with what Preston Fisher is saying. Like, what did we as black people expect Obama to do? And I mean, me personally, I don't have anything to answer on that, because I don't ever remember us as a community of people, or even a small group of us, saying with this black president, this is what we expect him to do. We expect him to deliver on this. I don't remember that. So I think that's an awesome question, Preston Fisher. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
I don't, but that's an awesome question. What did we even expect? Because white people expect stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? When white people put you in office, they got a list. Look, we want this, and this. Your second term, we want this.
I agree. I think that's absolutely true.
That's a great question.
Like, what was our expectations when we put Obama in? Like, what? I agree.
Right. That's a great question.
Like, I think you got to remember, a lot of people just voted just because, he's a black man.
Mike Baker says, I believe the only black woman that might make change is Michelle Obama. However, she would have just as many problems as her husband. Absolutely. Absolutely. She would probably have more. Now, let me tell you, if I was going to vote for a female president, guaranteed right off the back, I'd vote for Michelle.
Oh, Michelle all day.
Michelle's the queen. You know what I mean? I dig some Michelle Obama.
Yes.
James Copeland says, right, everything is coming out. I liked her and was, oh no, I think that's what that said. From her not going after crooked cops and letting the innocent man continue to stay locked up. Okay. Valid point, my brother. Valid point. Valid point. Preston Fisher says, seriously, what was Obama supposed to do for us? Hook us up? You know what, Preston? That might have been what they was looking for, brother. The hookup.
I don't know, but that is an awesome question.
That is an awesome question.
What did we expect?
Right. And like I said, when you tied into what Dr. Anderson said, that's a great question, because he's like, we don't even have specific things we want to have done. Or at least if there are black people that do, we're not aware of it. Right. Maybe some black politicians had some things that they wanted Obama to do. But as far as us as a people, I don't, remember anything in particular where we need this, we need that. Ms. Johnson says his hands were tied in the office. True, true, because, that statement points to having an understanding of what a president is.
Yes.
I don't want to downplay the role of the president.
Yes.
But I just want to say it may be some puppet masters involved when you are president. You're limited to what you can do. Preston Fisher says, Michelle's amazing. I don't want her to run. Just stay classy. True that, brother. It may ruin her. That's true. It may ruin her.
Right. Because you saw what they did to Obama. Like I said, it's just...
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. It would just be a great concern for a woman to be up in office.
True that. True that. D. Brown says we just have to believe all things is possible. Absolutely, Miss Brown. We do have to believe. I'm going to give you a bell on that. Bing! All right. So... That one was that's a heavy hitter right there.
I don't know if we decided if that was constructive or destructive.
We didn't. It got so heated, right? You know what? I'm going to say constructive. As the male, of course, I could easily say destructive. But I'm going to say constructive because I was thinking destructive, right? But after what Jay just said, after what James Copeland just said about she would do way better than what we presently have.
Right.
Probably whatever woman it is. So because of that, I'm going to say constructive. So thanks for that tidbit, Jay. You made a valid point. So I'm going to say constructive. Female president, constructive.
I'm going to have to go with constructive.
Constructive, okay. So, what's the other woman's name? Not Kamala.
Daphne.
Daphne, I'm going to be looking out for you. Kamala, I'm sorry. I'm done with you. You broke a record for locking black people up and you're black. I can't support that. I can't support it. Mike says, I think black people just wanted to see a black president. Yeah, I think so too. He also says, I believe it gave us a sense of hope. Yeah, it did.
Right, and it did.
Gave us a little sense of hope. Okay. All right, well, we up on break. So stay with us, Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are going over constructive or destructive. We're going to take a break and we'll be back.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the On the Come Up radio show.
But I meant you tried to slap, so you want to stick on that. But anyway, slap walk.
You taking slap walks now? What is going on?
Can I get some of that wine? That's funny.
Not with the cup.
I don't know. But I got my cup right here, babe. Where that wine at, bro?
I can't.
Yo, Bob. But no, I don't. Y'all not convincing me.
But that was never my mission. That was never my mission. This is not even the show to try to convince anybody on. Have you seen the past episode?
You voted for Hillary. You voted for.
You didn't vote for anybody.
And I'm telling you that. I stand on that. I don't see no.
You stand on your ignorance.
That's the whole. Yes.
Good.
Wow. Because you can't educate me.
You can't educate yourself.
Because I'm not a teacher.
Well, I am a teacher.
Up.
I'm an informer.
And I'm telling you, you can't give somebody that's not receptive.
If I know something, I can.
Yeah, but if you're not being receptive,
or give you a reason.
we started with who was running for a governor. You didn't even know who the man was.
It don't matter.
So why would I teach you anything?
Because you can't. I don't believe you can. I don't believe you're informed. I told you.
I don't believe
you. You don't believe we are informed?
It's
are you kidding?
Ceremony.
You don't believe we are informed?
Y'all do it for fun.
No, let's go back to that statement. You said you don't believe
it don't really do nothing.
You don't believe we.
Especially for black men.
You don't believe we, the media company that you are in its studios, are informed?
Voting? No, voting is a fallacy.
Are you kidding? Are you?
But
you can't put your
damn stupid that you are sitting in the media?
Stupid?
Are you sitting in the media company that broadcasts the news and you are asking these dumb, ignorant, idiotic, stupendous questions? These questions.
Voting?
What the? Quit! I fucking quit! No, give me the wine. I want to drink.
Watch when this goddamn.
Give me the wine. I want to drink. I can't do this.
I got some good wine too.
Join us every Saturday at 7 p.m. for On the Come Up radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait. Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second. What?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Are we back? Hey, welcome back to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show, everybody. I'm sitting here cutting up. All right, so we are doing constructive or destructive today. And the first one was female president. And this definitely invoked some opinions out of people. And we like that. So thank you to everybody who participated on that first part of the segment. So we're going to move on to number 2, constructive or destructive. Government shutdown. Government shutdown, constructive or destructive? I think obviously it looks very destructive. But I'm going to try to play the devil's advocate and see if I can pull something constructive out of it.
Okay.
But right off the back, like, what can we take away from this government shutdown as black people? I don't want to speak as just regular Americans. Black Americans, what can we take from this?
Well, we could take away from... you could definitely take away your financial situation from it, because I think.
Well, I mean more like lesson learned. You know, like what do you take away from this? You know, what does this make you realize? Because this is how I'm going to try to find something constructive in it.
It just makes me real. All I saw from it was the fact that people with power could do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how it affects your life. It just don't matter to them. They can do anything they want to you at any time. That's all. That's what I take away from it.
Okay.
That's what I've seen happening to people, families, and themselves.
Okay. Miss Johnson says destructive. Miss D. Brown says be your own boss. Start your own business. Okay. So that's what I wanted to get at, right? I know it was destructive for many, many people. But if there was anything I felt we could take out of this, I go back to Dr. Anderson. Dr. Anderson warned us many moons ago, and I know a lot of us don't know this, but he warned us about having government jobs and then thinking your future is secured. Because he basically explained these people will pull the rug from underneath you at any given moment. So he wasn't saying don't have a government job. He's just simply saying you still need to kind of do your own thing. Like Miss D. Brown said, start your own business, right? Yes. Because you're going to be left in a vulnerable position. Sure. So for those that really went through some suffering through this shutdown, and I've seen some videos on Facebook, people upset crying, the landlords wanted to put them out, right? They realized, oh my God, like I've been living my life dependent on these people to take care of me and give me a check every 2 weeks, right? Yes. And now they just stopped it. Yeah. So I think if it's anything constructive that should come out of that is we should realize don't put all your eggs in one basket. Not with these people, because you got white people shutting the government down, right? Not giving you your paycheck. And then you got other white people as your landlord who ain't having no understanding of it. I'm sorry, I just need my rent. Now I got to put you out in 30 days. Now he well aware that we in government shutdown and it's his people who did it. But ain't gonna be no sympathy towards you. So I think that's what can be taken as constructive, but overall I think it was destructive.
I agree with that part as far as that could be taken as constructive. You're absolutely right about that. And another thing, you know, as a black person, you have to remember too, because you know the idea, especially when you was younger, like get a government job, but you have to remember, you know, even as a black person, you know, we start at the bottom of the barrel. Speaking of, you know, as far as your money, as far as what you're getting paid, and as far as what others are getting paid. Right. So you're already starting at a minimum salary that probably is just enough at that point, you know, for you to make it. So for them to take a paycheck away at that point, I mean, you already in trouble. So yes, definitely, if you didn't learn anything, you had to learn a financial lesson in it. That
I hope so. I hope we did take that away.
You cannot have yourself in a position where somebody can take a job away from you like that, and it will affect your whole world.
Absolutely,
like, you can't have yourself in that position. So on the constructive part, you're absolutely right about that. We can walk away with that as far as constructive, but
destructive overall, right? But we can take something constructive out of it. And again, I'll go back to Dr. Anderson, when Dr. Anderson would say to us, listen, remember, when you got these government jobs and you think you so secure, remember this is the same government that had slavery as legal, right? This is the same Supreme Court that still has us listed as 3/5 of a human. Again, I call this black education. And that's what the BBD radio show is about. It's about black education. So I hope people get their jobs back and things work out, but I hope we take away something from this. Don't look at this as that this was just some, you know, asinine move by Trump. Trump's a puppet. It was more than Trump that was involved with this government shutdown. He's just the man on the front. So, you know, but you get what I'm saying? I don't want people to look at it and say, oh, I don't have to worry about that again. That was just Trump tripping. No, that was the American government tripping. Remember, everything that we see is a play. It's a play out. As much as we think it's real and Nancy's mad at him and this, that, listen, man, these people are on the same team. You can let that title Democrat and Republican fool you if you want. It's all the same. Gang, gang. Yeah. and just, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Another thing I would like to say about that, you know, the shutdown was what, 35 days. So it was a 35-day shutdown. We did a show before when we was talking about your finances. if you knew whether or not you was in a good position as far as financially. That if you can take 30 days off from your job and it not affect your finances, you knew that you was in a good financial position. So you talking about
the show we talked on that?
Yes.
Yes.
But you see what just happened. Like the government was shut down 35 days.
Right.
And people were in a scramble.
Yeah. What you're speaking on is financial freedom.
Yes.
The way that you can measure your financial freedom is by looking at your life and saying, if I stop working today and could only live off what I have, how long would I be able to sustain myself with everything that I have? And for most of us, we won't even make it 30 days.
As you can see.
Right,
clearly.
so the government shutdown showed that.
Showed it.
So I'll read a few comments. Miss D. Brown says, something happened for you to wake up and do what you've been dreaming of doing. Start your business with the amount of money you have now. Good advice. Good advice. See this for what it is. Mike Baker says, we as a people need to learn to teach us how to build our own and support our own. However, we need to also learn how to treat our people. Bingo. Absolutely, Mike. Welcome to the Black by the Band radio show, Mike. Mike got the BBD spirit. You know what I mean?
And that is the very reason, when you was playing the devil's advocate, when you said constructive, that is the very reason we can take constructive out of this.
Right.
Because of the things that you learn from this.
That's right. You see the vulnerability. You see that rug you were standing on, as pretty as that rug is, they can pull it from underneath you. Like the drop of a dime. It won't have a care in the world.
For any reason at any given time. Because clearly we just went through 35 days of a shutdown, and I'm still trying to figure out what the shutdown was for.
Ms. Johnson says many businesses and even local governments came together trying to help federal employees. Example, our governor offered free transit in Maryland. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'll give you a bell on that, Ms. Johnson. That's good. But again, let me play the devil's advocate, right? According to some of these elders that I've studied who've been a part of this society for a very long time, one of the things that they talk about is one of the games that they play of you tear it down and then you be the hero to repair it. You get what I'm saying? And so I like what Ms. Johnson said, that the governor offered free transit in Maryland, right? But I can't help but thinking it's all still a tactic. See, you know, if someone tears something down, it allows other people to now come in as the rescue. So Europeans in particular have a history of doing some dirty stuff and then at the same time being the one to offer you the solution to kind of solve it. So it gives other people chances to look like heroes. You know what I mean? So imagine, okay, me and you, we the BBD radio show, so me as the host, I go do something to cause people problems, and then you step up and say, let me tell you what I can help you with, right? And then me and you go laugh about it. That's pretty much what they do. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I like that something happened, but I'm always suspect of how these people get down.
It just makes you realize you have to be more prepared, and you have to be more prepared. It's just too many of us in a situation where we're a paycheck away from homeless.
True.
It's just that simple.
True.
Like we have to get out those situations.
See, I'm hoping that through all of these different things that we face, whether it's the government shutdown or the little girls being strip searched or people getting killed by the police, I don't think we as a people, and I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you're Israelite, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, right? If you're Buddhist, all of these problems are because you're black. You get what I'm saying? So I would be thrilled to see us put our religious beliefs and faiths to the side and say, listen, because of everything that's going on, we have no choice but to face the reality. We need to come together and start doing some things on our own. Black Wall Street needs to be created. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Black businesses need to be supported. Like, I don't understand, and I know I'm biased because, you know, I've gotten into a few things as I've gotten older, but I just don't understand what else is it that these people need to do to us? You know, like, that's my serious question. We are under 400 years of this type of nonsense. But for some reason, we still not seeing it for what it is.
It's just, it's just still a shame. And it
I think white people are getting exhausted. They don't know what else to do to us. Like, we did everything to them. They still love us.
I'm getting exhausted watching all. I'm getting exhausted watching all of this. I mean, because even
I'm just saying.
Because even through this situation we just went through with this shutdown, even in our communities, if we had any people who own homes or anything in our neighborhoods who was affected by this shutdown. You know, there should have been things in place in our communities where we would have been able to help, you know, Miss Betty make sure, you know, her rent was paid, or you know, she was going to eat, where this wouldn't have been a big concern for her, where she wouldn't be sitting up here all doing YouTube videos or out there like that.
Well, don't we have that? Ain't it called Christianity?
It just shouldn't. I mean, it's got to be.
Don't we have that? Don't we have that with Christianity?
We have to get something in place that's going to be able to help us in situations.
Are you telling me that the mega churches didn't open up and welcome us in when we was getting kicked out?
I'm telling you, they wasn't paying rent for these people that was about to be evicted. So I'm just saying.
Let me stop having fun.
Something more have to be done. So you have to walk away with that if you walk away with nothing.
Right.
Like it's got to be a light bulb coming on somewhere.
Now, we just discussed the working end of the government shutdown, right? Well, part two is another part that applies to us as a people, and that is the subsidized assistance, because that was being threatened to get shut down.
Yes.
So that was going to get shut down in February. Right? It was scheduled for February.
Yes.
So we got 3 weeks. So I guess we'll make it into February without that.
Yeah,
but I think it still should be at the front of people's mind. What if they snatch the assistance?
But I thought this was even the craziest thing too. Even with the assistance, I think in January they gave double food stamps out, right? People when they got
I didn't get mine. Where can I get them?
But they did. When people received their food stamps in January, they gave it to them for February as well.
I did hear that.
Which was crazy to me, because if you're giving poor people an extra set of food stamps, like it's going to be there next month.
I think they're trying to send a message. We're going to go on W up because might not be nothing else coming out this, you know. Make the best of it here. It's January and February.
But I'm just saying, like, how you going to send, you know, people in poverty a double payment and expect them to keep it for the following month to use? Like, that's another setup. Like, come on, like, seriously.
That's what I'm saying.
This is supposed to be a help, but is that really a help? Like, it's just.
So that's the other end of it, right? We had people who are on assistance was actually almost at risk here. Now that really would have been pretty chaotic for white people, because it's more white people on welfare than black people. So don't get it twisted when you hear me say what I say. Yes, it would have been chaotic for us too, but more for them, because there's more of them on it. Last time I checked, it was what, 37% of them and 24% of us, something like that. So it would have hurt them too.
It's just, I don't know. It's just, you have to recognize the seriousness.
So do you feel like that's what we have learned about that as a community of people, that we are now being forced to realize we might not want to depend on this so much? Whether it's the government job or the housing or assistance or whatever. I
feel like that's what we should have learned.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I think.
So I'm hoping.
You hoping that's what we got out of it,
we learned. Right? I'm hoping we did.
Right.
Because it's no way you can walk away and say, well, I took absolutely nothing away from this. I mean, that would be a problem.
Miss Brown says, I think they're going to shut food stamps, Section 8, and other programs down next. Miss Brown, I'm with you. I see a storm coming. Yes, I see a storm coming.
I mean, didn't they already like triple Section 8 rents anyway? Did they do that?
You know what? I don't know, but I just see a storm coming. Even when I heard that they're going to reopen it for 3 weeks. Like, what kind of crap is that?
When I saw
open back up for 3 weeks and see how it goes.
This whole shutdown for 35 days, you have to see something coming.
Right.
You can't just sit there and be like, oh, okay, that was nothing, it's done.
I would definitely try to get more prepared.
That was a problem.
What might be coming in the future.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself.
Tune in to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We'll bring it to you the best way we can. Tune in.
We already look. We started the year bringing it in the best way we can. We started the year off with get yourself a job.
Right.
Become an entrepreneur. Start your own business, and businesses that you can start. Easy businesses that didn't take a lot of financial backing to start.
Right.
So
if you guys missed that show, check that out. You can go to BeExposedRadio.com or Be Exposed on Facebook. Our first show was on, what, the 14th, I think it was, January 14th. We did 12 easy businesses to start up in 2019. If you get a chance, go back, review that show. And while you're at it, make sure you help support us at patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD and get apparel at blackbottomman.com. That's patreon.com/ Brother Mike, BBD.
Right. And think about it, even on the last show when we spoke about the emergency fund, like that emergency fund could have helped you during this 35-day shutdown right now. So
absolutely.
I'm trying to tell you, you better catch these shows.
Check this out. Miss D Brown just hit something. She said, Revelations say when the trumpets blow, get it. All right now, see, that's what I'm saying now. Miss Brown, I kind of spoke a little prophetic earlier, right, about things going on, but that's what I'm saying. It is things that are happening. You have to understand that these people control the media. We're not paying attention to the Bible. So I'll just give a few clues. There are things happening in this earth that are prophesied in that Bible that these Europeans are not reporting. So for those tuning into the BBD radio show, go online and check out the areas of the world who have had water turn blood red. We also had blood moons. You get what I'm saying? All this is prophesied in the scriptures as to what's going to be happening in this world. And that's why I said 2019 is going to be a very interesting year. You might want to read that book and see if you can get something out of it other than just showing up on Sunday for some tradition. I'm just saying.
Hey, 2019.
I'm just saying. It's a lot going on out here. Everybody gonna get caught off guard, you know, because the Most High said, always look to the skies for the signs. All right, so government shutdown was destructive, but we figured out how to get something constructive out of it.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on. So number 3, constructive or destructive? New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions, constructive or destructive?
Yeah. I'm going to have to say constructive.
Constructive, okay. I think they're constructive too.
I mean, because you can't be mad about trying to start off on a positive note.
Right.
So if you're trying to start anything on a positive note, that's got to be constructive.
Right.
You know, at least you made some resolutions. You could have did nothing and said it's just going to be another year. But at least you're trying to set some goals and put some things in place to make happen for the year. So that's
constructive. I think it's constructive. I think the only destructive part about it is our actual performance. Because a lot of us, I know I do, right? We don't own up to our resolutions.
Right.
So that would be the only thing I can think of that would be destructive. So New Year's resolutions, we're going to say constructive. But here's the question. Should we even make them? Or should we just take action? Or should we just make better ones?
I do think we should make them.
Okay.
I definitely believe that we should continue to make them. Maybe if something you did that didn't work in the past, maybe you should try to do something different. A lot of times, I know before, again, I'm always going back to our shows. We did a show before on vision boards. So even if you have to make your New Year's resolution and put it on a vision board, do that. At least you can look at it all year. It'll be staring you in your face. If you already have a vision board, just add those things on.
Okay.
When you're making your New Year's resolution.
Mike Baker says, what's the point of making a choice if you're not going to stick with it? See, that's kind of what I was getting at. You know, like we make them, but like so many of us don't stick with it.
Yeah, but a lot of people tend to do better if it's in your face every day. If you're looking at it every day, you're saying it every day.
So that's why you're saying the dream board. Okay.
It'll kind of help you out. I'm saying for the ones, if you're serious about it.
Right.
Now, I'm not just saying.
Well, I think most people are very serious at the beginning.
I'm not just saying for those who just making resolutions because other people's doing it. I'm just saying if you're setting plans and goals the first of the year because you really do want to make it happen, just try to do something different where, you know, it might can help you throughout the year to make it happen.
Miss D Brown says destructive. You need a 5 to 10 year family plan in this world today.
Well, that's where like the vision boards can help you. Like you stick it on your vision board, it stays there. You know, eventually everything that's on that vision board, you get to it. You make it happen.
Maybe we could approach the resolutions from a different angle. Okay, so again, this is just my opinion, right? There's no facts on this. But what I'm thinking is, okay, if we make it a New Year's resolution, that is a clear statement that the previous year that's just coming to an end, we wasn't happy with something. Whether it's money, relationships, work environment, family, something, right? All right, so we make a resolution to go into this new year to do better in these areas.
Okay.
Correct these areas, right?
Okay. Yes.
But before that year comes to an end, we celebrate, right, with the New Year's Eve party and all that.
Yes.
As if we had a good year. But how good could the year have been if you got all these resolutions for the new year? So what I'm getting at is I'm trying to look at the psychology of this. I got these New Year resolutions because I'm not happy with what happened, say 2018. I'm ready to go into 2019 with a bang, right?
Yes.
Turn a new leaf.
Yes.
But yet I'm going to end 2018 partying as if 2018 was good.
Right.
How good could it have been? You got all these resolutions for 2019. I guess what I'm saying is it might increase your chances of making it happen if you realize you got to end 2018 on the right note, because that's when you're beginning to say 2019 I'm going to do things different. Okay, well you need to start that in 2018, right? So me personally, if I was going hard about 2019, while everybody else is out partying and celebrating the year that they really wasn't that happy about, I would be home already working on 2019.
Very true.
Because it seems like New Year's resolutions really isn't about the new year itself. It's really about saying at some point in this new year, I'm going to start doing things different. Whereas, you know, you could change that and say, no, I came in the new year doing something different.
Right.
You know, like set the pace of your new year. You're setting the pace of your new year with a party.
Right.
Which is the same pace you set the year before.
Sure.
That's why you got New Year's resolutions for the new year, right? So that's just my thoughts on it, right? It seems like you would say, you know what? I'm going to end this year by starting the new year.
Well,
I'm not going out. I'm going to chill out and start working on my master plan, so forth and so on.
Yeah, that's just another great way of doing it. Like,
right, that's just my thoughts on it.
Change it. You can change up how you doing your resolutions.
Right.
But I still believe it's good to make them.
I think it's good to make them.
It's good to
I'm just simply offering a different approach to it that would help
I definitely understand it and agree. But I definitely think that we should continue to set goals for ourselves. Like, we should do it continually. I don't care if even when you set it, even if you don't have a clue of how you're going to get it done, you still give yourself some type of accountability for something for the year, but set it. Right. Like, still do it.
Got you. Miss D Brown, thank you for that comment. She says, I love this show. Thank you very much. That's what we love hearing that, Miss Brown, because we try to have constructive conversations to stimulate different thought processes. So that really means a lot to us. We appreciate it. Excuse me. If you ever have a topic that you might want to see us cover, you can email us at blackbydemand, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. So that's blackbydemand4u@gmail. But yeah, that's just kind of my approach, because I'm kind of going off of I've heard, you know, more scholastic people than myself, you know, say the tone that you set when you do something is what sets the pace for whatever you're doing.
I agree.
Right? So I'm saying our tone, for some of us at least, right, to bring in the new year is partying. And then we kind of wonder why we go through that year and don't really establish. When midnight came in, you was on a high. Yeah. You know, you was feeling good, you was drinking. Like, midnight didn't come in and you looked at the clock like, yeah, see, I already started this. Right. I already read that book, 2019, I'm coming for you, right?
Yes.
We come into the year kicking it. We come into the year partying.
That's good.
And I'm saying, what is everybody celebrating if we had a year that we feel we need to make all these improvements on?
Right. That's
but
true.
you know, you know how I am. So I know everybody doesn't share my perspective, but that's just how I kind of logically, you know, see that.
But that's a good way that you can, you know, set your resolutions down. You can set it at the end of the year that's going out for the next year.
Right. So, like, you got to set the tone. D Brown says, ring that bell because you've blessed my soul. Thank you. You got that. So yeah, that's just kind of my approach. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I get down. Anything when I end that year and I feel like I'm coming into this new year and I want to do something different, that's popping off in the December. Yes. Because I want that year started off with that. Right. I don't want to end that year partying, kicking it, and waking up half, you know, drunk and whatever, and then say, get my shit together tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's just my take on it.
Goodness gracious.
So at the end of the day, we say destructive. We had mixed views. Ms. Brown said destructive. Mr. Baker said constructive. Okay, so that's a good one though. But yeah, but you get where I'm coming from.
I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, like set the tone. You set the tone. It's almost like when you compete in a contest. Whoever goes first, they setting the bar. You know what I mean? You can only hope they don't do well. Right? So you got to like set your own bar. You're setting the bar at the same spot. If you end 2018 the same way you ended 2017, 2016, you know.
Eventually you have to think of a new game plan. If you've been doing something the same way for years and years and it haven't been working, then it's time to try something different. So,
okay, we are up on another break. Stay with us. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are talking constructive or destructive. We'll be back.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and
Sweet.
These
good and great participation today.
Most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
Because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Joined just a bit outside.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? You know, we tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the BBD Radio Show. So we are talking constructive or destructive, and we are moving on from New Year's resolutions. So overall, we say constructive.
Okay.
You know, might want to explore different approaches to it. Like I was saying, maybe New Year's night, kick it off, right? Have midnight come in with you already on your goals. Right? Not thinking I'll wake up, you know, a day or two later and get started.
Yes.
All right, so the next one, constructive or destructive.
Oh, God.
All right. The Surviving R. Kelly documentary on VH1.
Oh, gosh.
Constructive or destructive? Surviving R. Kelly, everybody.
I definitely, I mean, of course, I'm going to have to go with destructive.
Destructive? Talk to me.
It's, you could go first. It's so much with that Surviving R. Kelly. And even down to this day, like I've never watched it. Like I don't go back to watch it I don't want to watch it because even, you know, of course they put it all into, what was it, a Lifetime movie or something? I don't know. What is
VH1,
a documentary. Even, they put it all into that. But these were things that, you know, we've heard about R. Kelly throughout his entire career. These things was going on with R. Kelly throughout, and like something should have been done way back then. He waited 20 years into his career, and now, you know, we come up with this Surviving R. Kelly. Like, you know, I survived R. Kelly. I survived R. Kelly. What happened with Surviving R. Kelly 20 years back when R. Kelly was in the midst of doing all of these things?
So definitely destructive.
It was destructive. Just the whole nature of it all was just destructive.
See, the reason why I thought it was a legit topic is because on the surface it seems very destructive, right? But R. Kelly sold out at his last concert. R. Kelly now has women begging him to come be a prisoner at his compound. You get what I'm saying?
But that is why it's so destructive, though. Like,
like what did they see in that made them say, I want to be one of those girls?
No.
You know, like he's sold out. Like he's more popular than he's ever been right now with something that was an attempt to destroy it, you know, to be destructive.
But that's the mere fact now that it's just destructive. Just people minds.
Okay, so what was the goal of VH1? What do we think the goal was of VH1 with this?
For them, I guess for them to
destroy R. Kelly, maybe?
Or just make themselves, I don't know, do they make money off of this to make themselves some money? The goal
I'm sure they do.
The goal was for them.
Yeah,
it wasn't for R. Kelly. Like I said, all of these things been out about R. Kelly. So it couldn't have been to destroy R. Kelly, because it didn't destroy R. Kelly thus far. So whatever it was, the intentions was for them, not for R. Kelly.
Okay.
So whatever.
Because I don't really get their goal, other than trying to destroy him. I see that.
The intentions,
but it's evident that didn't work.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
I believe VH1 intentions were strictly the intentions for them. Because if your intentions was to destroy R. Kelly, like I said, it didn't destroy him all these years. So I don't see.
Did it help anything? Do you think? Does anyone in the audience think his documentary helped anything?
I just hope, the only thing I hope it helped was just with parents with the young kids today. I just hope we just school our young kids more. I mean, the only thing I could see with this whole ordeal is just how much parents drop the ball raising our kids.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to look at. If I had to say it helped, I would say it helped us to see you got to pay more attention to your kids. Now, my opinion is that these parents are not so innocent, because when they allowed their children to be with R. Kelly, like you said, the word was already out on R. Kelly. People already knew who R. Kelly was.
This goes all the way back to when our kids are 2 years old, 3 years old, when we're sitting here thinking them saying their first curse word is cute, them twerking is cute, them shaking their bodies is cute, we putting these bikinis on them, sending them out here to the beach is cute. Like, this goes all the way back to the way we raising our girls.
Wow.
So if Surviving R. Kelly was going to do something constructive, then hopefully it's it's going to make parents do a better job at raising kids or whatever. And I'm no expert when it comes to nobody raising kids, but it's clear that we dropped the ball with all these young girls that was affected. That's clear. So as a parent, we have to accept some type of accountability with that, because it wasn't all Kelly's fault. If we want to place blame, then the blame is going all the way around the blame game. It can't just go on
a lot of people getting touched by that blame. Ms. D. Brown says people are so into what used to be right is wrong, and what used to be wrong is right. That goes for the church as well. Parents are to blame. Money talks. Absolutely, that's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, these parents should be up on charges with R. Kelly. You know, like you turned your daughter over to someone who already was suspected.
I read one of the letters where one of the parents gave permission for their daughter to go wherever, to fly out, to go stay with R. Kelly. I read one of the letters where she gave consent for her daughter to be there for like 3 months.
Right.
And even if she was under the impression that the daughter was going to be staying with his assistant, who was a woman, even if she was under that impression, like, what type of supervision did she think the girl was still going to have as far as guides with her being out of her guardianship? What supervision did she believe the child was going to have anyway once she got out of her sight?
Yeah, when I seen the documentary, I seen where at least one set of the parents was like, well, we said she has to have someone with her at all times. She can't be alone with him. And I'm just looking like, really? In his mansion?
Not only that, but okay, not only that.
Boy.
We've been hearing stories about R. Kelly forever now.
Right.
These parents never heard this?
Right.
You still sending your child?
Yeah,
so
they did.
Your way of protecting that situation and fixing it was to say, oh, well, she can't be alone with R. Kelly. Like, I'm going to let her go, but y'all going to have to tell me that at no time she's going to be alone with R. Kelly.
It was about her music career. That's what they all said. Because he was going to help my daughter get her career started. And I'm just like, really? Like,
so so my point is, if you're going to start placing the blame, it's enough blame to go around for everybody.
For everybody.
Not just for R. Kelly.
So we think these parents might have been paid off at the initial, right? R. Kelly offering.
In the initial, they could have been getting some type of money back or whatever. Like, they didn't just do this for free.
Exactly. I'm sure they got paid by VH1.
Yes, they didn't just sit here and do all of this for free. Everything that they were doing probably was going to bring them $1. I'm not saying anything bad about the parents either. Like, I'm not saying anything about nobody, but that whole surviving R. Kelly thing, the whole thing was just a hot mess.
Miss D. Brown says the parents in this situation had a motive until the money ran out.
I'm going to have to agree.
They had a motive until the money ran out. It was like, oh, no more money? Oh, we going to VH1.
So
you about to pay us.
So even if we say it was constructive, like, these are things that we have to already know. Like, I mean, goodness gracious.
So let's talk about, of course, you know, a lot of black people came forward with, what about these white people? Like, these white people been doing this for years. Jerry Seinfeld married his girlfriend when she's 17 in high school, right? Woody Allen adopted a little Asian girl and raised her and married her. And there's a bunch of other ones that got a bunch of pedophilia charged. How do we feel about people bringing that up? You know what I mean? Is that of our concern? Are they using it to say they picking R. Kelly out of everybody? Which, by the way, I would believe, but I have a you know, a view on that.
At this point, like,
but you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
white men have been doing this forever, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's glorified, right? You get what I'm saying? They write songs about teenage girls. I mean, hell, even Belle Biv DeVoe, you know, had a little song talking about adolescents, underage.
Yeah,
how you doing?
This is the crazy part, though. Even when we say, like, you know, white folks been doing this forever. So even when we say statements like that, does that mean it's not going on now?
That's what I'm asking, right?
Like,
that's what I'm asking.
Does that mean it's all over and it's still not happening now?
So why R. Kelly? You know what I mean? Like, with all these white people that do it, you know, why they pick R. Kelly?
Anything that's going to distract us and take our attention away from things that our attention needs to be on, hey, just throw it out there. That's going to distract us even more. We got distracted on this.
Because there's two sides of the coin. You get what I mean? You got black people who are just initially pissed at the situation, and rightfully should be, right? And then you got other black people saying, yeah, but what about the white people that do this all the time? They've been doing this for years. They get, you know, glorified from Elvis, you know, his wife, what's her name, Lisa Presley or whatever, you know, like she was underage. Like everybody was underage, you know, but R. Kelly's kind of the sacrificial lamb.
Yes, and that's true. And I understand all of that, what people say, what about the white people, but I mean, are we awake? Do we not know at this point?
So, you know,
it's about what we do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, back in the day when I was younger, the older folks used to say, you can't do what white folks do. You know, now in this particular case, he shouldn't have been doing it, period. Period. Right? Nothing to do with white people, just period. But I'm just saying, R. Kelly's a part of an elite society, right? And if you do the research, you will find out that this elite society that he's a part of, they have different rules from us within their society. Their rules are, you can be with a child. That's why they push hard for pedophilia laws and all that type of stuff. Like, you know, the world has a lot of pedophilia in it. You know what I mean? So I think that's what they're getting at. Why they choose R. Kelly is because he was black. You know, we're going to crucify this guy for the stuff that we did. But, you know, really that's typical pattern. My personal take on it is, if R. Kelly wasn't engaging in this, you wouldn't have to worry about being a sacrificial lamb. You get what I'm saying? You know, remember the old folks say you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. So you were part of this elite society, and you out here doing the stuff that they do. Right. You know? Might not work out.
I'm just, you know, I'm just so through with this surviving R. Kelly. Like, I'm a person, I care a whole lot about the kids. I care a whole lot about our kids. So, again, this is very hurtful to know that. Because
you got daughters.
Yes.
Right. And that puts an extra.
It just puts an
extra hurt on it, right? Because you imagine if it was one of your daughters saying, Mom, R. Kelly going to blow me up. You know what I mean? He going to make me famous, so forth and so on.
I mean, now, anybody who know me, they already, you know that, you know, I have a daughter, Hollywood Jada, who would love to go be in Hollywood. And the whole time my answer's been no.
Yeah, that's.
I've never told her anything good about it. Right. I told her what I should have told her about it. I've preached it a million times, told it a million times, and also just let her know, like, it's going to be a million people that's going to sell you that dream, like, oh, you can make it, and like, and I can help you get there. Like, no.
You know, I seen a video. I still have the video. It was of a producer. He's in Hollywood and deals with all that stuff. So what he said was, as far as like you were saying, these kids wanting to be a part of it, he was like, listen, he said, black people are the most talented people on the planet. They cannot let all of us come through the door or we will dominate everything. He said, so whatever talent you got, we can find someone else that has that talent even better. Right. He said what it boils down to is, what are you willing to do to be the person that we let through the door? Right. He said, now let me tell you, he said, you know, when you get up on that level, he said the air is thin. You get what I'm saying? And you are going to do some things that is going to secure them, that they know you will never, you know, speak on certain other things. I just thought it was interesting when he said that. I'm like, wow, you know, this is a guy who's been in the game 30, 40 years, you know, so that's something you might want to consider letting her know too. You know, like, it's not about your talent.
It's not. and
not about your talent.
And you can take your talent and do whatever you want with it, or whatever. You can be creative in so many different things. You can do so many different things. All because you can't go to Hollywood doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. Sure. You're still going to run your own business. You're still going to do a million other things. Right. You're just going to do it under your, what is it? Under your stipulations and not nobody else's. Because you know, like, man, it's a price to pay in Hollywood.
That's what they say. I can't confirm or deny because I'm not in Hollywood, and I don't think I ever will be.
I'm going to have to go with it.
But I'll read a comment here. Miss Brown says, black community should have been doing rallies around his house until they came out. I agree. I think that goes back to what we were saying about accountability. This is what Dr. Anderson was saying.
Yes.
Black people, as a community of people, we don't hold people accountable. And that's what she's saying. As soon as the word went out that these girls were in his house, at a minimum, the people in that area, the closest city, closest state, should have been there like, you about to release them girls.
Absolutely.
So Dr. Anderson said that's part of the problem with us, that we don't never hold our own people accountable. You know, but then soon someone else holds them accountable, then we jump on that bandwagon like, yeah, put them in jail. Right? Now that's Dr. Anderson. That's a man that's been a part of, you know, the White House and all that for a really long time. But I agree. You know, like we as a people, should have went and dealt with that.
Absolutely.
We should have been banging on R. Kelly's door with enough of us out there where the police said, listen, we ain't got no warrant to come in here, but man, we got 420 people out here saying you got some girls in here, so you're going to have to open that door.
I mean, just think of, even back then, just think how crazy that would have been. Because even knowing what we know now, like, we still don't want to hold R. Kelly accountable.
That is evidently true because he sold out.
Don't want to hold him accountable.
First concert.
We still do not want to hold him accountable.
After the program.
Yes. Even after. I'm not even talking about after the surviving R. Kelly. I'm just talking about this day and time with all the knowledge and information that we have. Like, we still don't want to hold folks accountable for anything.
Ms. Brown said it takes a village, and we have gotten so far away from that, we just accept anything. And she gets a bell on that because I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like I was saying, we're more accepting of watching what happens to us on Facebook or YouTube than we are about having a discussion about it. You know, like it's the old, I had a brother just say this to me a couple weeks ago. He said, well, you know, they always say you shouldn't discuss politics and religion. And I told him, I get that.
Right.
But I want you to really ask yourself, who do you think came up with that cliche? Who do you think told you that you shouldn't discuss politics and religion? I'm just guessing, right? But I'm going to say people who are in politics and religion. You get what I'm saying? If you can convince people not to discuss your arena, politics and religion, well, who's there to check you on your facts that you're bringing forward? Because everybody's scared to discuss it because it invokes certain feelings. But I'm saying that's a part of why they get to do whatever they do. Because they trained us to say, you know, don't talk about that. It's sensitive subjects. But yet they're very important subjects. Politics and religion. Politics and religion run this world, run this planet. Here the sovereigns. That's right. We in Baltimore. It's organic, right? It runs the planet. It runs the world. Politics and religion run the world, and they trained us to never want to discuss it. Which means what? We leave it all in their hands. Right? So we ain't getting the truth through religion nor politics because they told us this is taboo to discuss. And when I told that brother that, I seen the gears in his head turning. He's just like, you know, I ain't never look at it that way. I said, I'm just saying, you know, like if it's something that I'm doing that I'm not doing right, the best defense tactic I could have against you and other people figuring that out is by making you believe it's taboo to discuss what I'm involved with. Right? Yes. So nobody wants to talk about politics and religion, even though politics and religion run the whole world. And then we wonder why we got all these crooked people in politics and religion. It's just Brother Mike's Black by the Man thought for the day.
It's a very good thought.
Right?
It's a very good thought.
Ms. D. Brown says, or should we say black girls matter? Politics and religion is the same conversation. Look at the oaths politicians have to take. See? That's what I mean. You know, but they convinced us, don't talk about this. That's what a brother told me. You shouldn't talk about politics and religion. I said, man, who told you that? A governor and a preacher? You know, I'm just saying. You know?
Goodness.
Interesting.
Right.
So, did this documentary hurt R. Kelly's career?
I don't think so.
That's a undoubtedly no.
I don't think
I mean, like, I think it hurt him as far as slander, right? We've heard a lot of black people slander him based on what he's done. So in that essence, it looks like it hurt him. black people waking up. We see R. Kelly's this monster, right? But then he sold out at his concert. Sold out, getting emails from young black women saying, "Let me come be your sex slave." And it's like, wow, what is going on?
And you know why he sold out? Because every radio station, every TV station, everybody probably talked about him. We put R. Kelly in everybody's head.
They say it's no such thing as bad publicity.
Right.
Because anything is going to put you on people's mind, whether it's good or bad. Right? That's interesting. So do we think R. Kelly is the sacrificial lamb, though, for this lifestyle? You know what I mean? Because he ain't the only one living that lifestyle. All of them be getting caught. From politicians to football players to singers, you know what I mean? Producers.
Somebody have to, like you said,
so he might be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like when, I'm going to let that one go.
Well, R. Kelly, I wish you the best of luck, brother. All I can say is, it seems that the Most High is casting judgment upon you. And, hey, you know, we all got to face things that we've done.
Hey.
I don't know what you did and what you didn't do, but if you did do something wrong, this may be the moment where you have to face the consequences of it. I don't know. All right, well, we'll move on. Okay, constructive or destructive? Birth control. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Birth control. Constructive or destructive?
I'm gonna have to say, for this day and time here, constructive.
You think it's constructive?
For now.
I think it's destructive, but you go ahead and tell me why you think it's constructive. I think I can think of obvious reasons, but what you got?
I think it's constructive now because we need some. No, seriously. I'm just trying to.
You're running out of words here. What's going on?
I'm just trying to put it in words. I think it's constructive because I think the young girls, I think they're just so out of control right now. At this point, I think all the millenniums are like, we have a lot that's out of control that we kind of need birth control right now because. You know, it'd just be, we don't need them bringing a bunch of babies into this world and then, you know, they all turn out like them.
Okay.
That's what's taking me so long because I'm trying to put it nicely. I'm trying to make it not sound like bad because I'm not trying to say it in a bad way. But I think it's just constructive right now because, like, there are parents out here who have to take their kids at 13 and 14 and put them on birth control themselves or whatever because of course they're not expecting the kids to be responsible at this point that they feel like they have to take control of it to do something before they have a house full of kids or something because the kids are so out of control. Gotcha. I think it was destructive in the beginning when they first brought this out, you know, as a measure of, you know, protecting yourself from pregnancy and stuff like that. I believe it was destructive then. But right now, in this day and time, I believe it's necessary.
You think it's necessary?
Absolutely necessary.
Okay. I definitely see the points that you're making as far as unwanted children, you know what I mean, so forth and so on. I actually think it's destructive. You know, my main reasons for thinking it's destructive is the first one is what is actually in the birth control. It's poison in it. Get what I'm saying? It's poison. Hormones, all kinds of stuff like that, which leads to other problems. I think the ideal of birth control is constructive, but the actual birth control systems that we have are destructive because it's doing other stuff. Now, also on a spiritual note, I think it's destructive because the Most High never put us on this earth to prevent us from having children. The way you prevent yourself from having children is not having sex. So birth control at the same time can be a signed permission slip from the parents, the doctors, whoever, for young women to engage and become promiscuous. But hold that thought. We're going to take another break. Stay with us, Black by the Man Radio Show. We are talking constructive or destructive, and we on birth control. So give us a holler and let us know what you think.
is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You know, he just put back a thumbs up like, okay. It's cool. It's all gravy in the Navy. All right, we back? All right, so welcome back. We're on the last segment, correct? All right, so we are finishing up with constructive or destructive, and we was on birth control. So I'm going to read a comment here. This is from Miss Brown. She says, constructive, too many babies being born with all kinds of diseases and mental problems, and look at what we just went through with the shutdown. Destructive, because we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Absolutely. So that's kind of the angle I was getting at. You know what I mean? Like, I see the ideal of it.
Right.
It's supposed to be constructive, but it's destructive because the people who are behind it are poisoning you. And they're also trying to sterilize black women. Now, they've been busted for that in Africa and other countries. They show up in Africa and then tell all the women, we're going to give you free birth control shots. And then 6 years later, they find out they're sterile. So, you know, again, you know my level of trust. That's why I don't have that type of trust. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting women putting these hormones in them, you know, and it's messing them up. You know what I mean? The Depo-Vera shot is now proven to be linked to cancer. You know what I mean? Birth control pills, those women's hormones off. Like, it's not, if it's going to be birth control, it's evident that these methods and systems are not the proper birth control.
And that's why we have to go back to promoting and encouraging abstinence.
Abstinence.
We have to get back to that with our girls. And they can avoid coming up on these birth controls and avoid these side effects or anything else that's poison with this birth control.
I'm going to sidebar this real quick,
Okay.
right? With the abstinence with young ladies, what could we possibly do to have them grasp the importance of that within a society that promotes casual sex more than anything?
You have to get it in them early.
Right.
You have to teach them from the beginning. And I could say it.
What exactly are you going to teach them though? Because just saying don't do this, don't do that ain't going.
No, you don't just tell them don't do it. You explain to them why you don't do it. You explain to them. You go down every avenue possible. And I can say this because I have 3 girls.
Absolutely, and that's exactly why I asked you. You're an expert.
I have 3 girls, and you know, to this day, I'm still not a grandma. And out my 3, I do know I still have 2 that's abstinence.
Okay.
So it was from the beginning.
Okay.
It was from I took all my life experiences and what I went through and what wasn't told to me. I had the opportunity to tell it to them.
Nice, nice. So you break the chain is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I broke it down. I gave them everything. I gave them everything they needed to know, from the STDs to raising babies alone to,
that's good.
To all of it.
And evidently it's worked.
To all of it.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't have a daughter. I only have a son, right? But, you know, I think about it. If I had a daughter, how would I approach that? You know, and as a man, I would probably try to, you know, make her understand, like you said, about diseases, so forth and so on. But I think as her father, I would probably want to instill in her how precious she is. You are precious. You understand what I mean? You daddy's daughter. What you have as a woman is responsible for the civilization of humans. You cannot just take that thing lightly because little girls are taught from day one to limit exposure, for lack of better words, right? Cross your legs, you know what I mean? Don't wear a short skirt. So we are kind of teaching it, but somewhere along the line, it's not penetrating to not take the skirt off. You understand what I'm saying? So she might have the long skirt on, but you didn't tell her she couldn't take it off, you know, so she might take it off. So that's kind of what I was thinking, like, how would we even be able to, you know, convince them of that, especially in a society that casual sex is just like the thing.
Yes, and it's not easy. And it's a subject that you can never be done with.
Okay, like I like that. Hey, you get a bell on that.
It's continued,
that's true.
It's continued discussions. Like, it's over and over and over again because every year they're getting older. So, like you said, when you're getting older and they seeing things and they hearing things, like, you're going to have to give me some new info now. Like, peer pressure is out here and I'm thinking about it. You're going to have to tell me something. So
it sounds like you would have to tailor the conversation based on her age. So you said it to her a certain way when she was 10. You said it a little different when she was 13, a little different when she was 16, a little different when she's 18, right?
And I use anybody experience I can. If I see any of her friends or any family members, anybody that's going through a situation that could be her, I'll make sure I'll point that situation out, like this could be you. So it's just an ongoing discussion, and I'm gonna keep having them because it's necessary. It's necessary. And one day when I do have grandbabies, I'm gonna need them to teach. I'm gonna need them to teach their kids. I'm gonna need them to teach their daughters.
I'll read a comment. Miss D. Brown says, abstinence is the avenue that starts at home. On the other hand, you got mommies out here sleeping with their daughter's man. Woo! Fire. She said, I know that might be another topic, but if mommy not right in the home, what's a girl supposed to do? I say it again, it takes a village of mentors. Okay, I get it. I get what she's saying. Now, I'm going to try to put it in my words, what she said. What she's basically saying is you can teach abstinence, but if the mother ain't showing that in her behavior, that's what the daughter's going to tailor towards.
Yeah, and that's also big too. Like, yes, you have to practice what you preach, and you have to be a role model in this. You can't be trying to teach daughters one thing and doing another thing. Like, it's not going to work most of the time.
She says, I love what my history sister is saying. So that's in reference to you. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Big up to Miss Brown. Miss Janice loves that. You know, sometimes she's in here with me and get a little rough. But yeah, I definitely get what she's saying. Like, behavior is it. right? So you can impact it all you want, right? But in your case, and I'm sure it's the case with others, unbeknownst to you, what really convinced them to stay on that path was probably watching your behavior. You understand what I'm saying? Because you didn't just say it, you showed it in your lifestyle. So that probably had more of an effect even than your words did.
Yeah, you just...
Very interesting.
Yeah, you have to practice what you're preaching. You can't just... You know, the world goes by what they see. They gonna go by what they looking at. They not going by really the words that's coming out of your mouth.
Right, they definitely going by action.
It's a little hard to try to tell somebody to do something when you're doing the complete opposite. That's a little difficult to pull off. But
so you think birth control was constructive?
Yes, I think it's this day and time. I believe it's constructive.
All right, well, I think destructive, but that's the beauty of this show. We agree to disagree, right? And it makes sense. You're a woman. I'm a man, right? So we're going to have a little bias in there. That's what's up. But we have reached the end of our lovely show today. I hope everybody enjoyed hanging out with us and sitting with us and going over another segment of constructive or destructive. And we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to go over them real quick. Constructive or destructive, number 1 was a female president. Number 2 was government shutdown. Number 3 was New Year's resolution. Number 4 was surviving the R. Kelly documentary. And number 5 was birth control. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in to the Black Bottom Man radio show. It's always a pleasure. Make sure you catch us every Monday at BigExposedRadio.com and on Facebook from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Join us and become a patron at patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD. And also, you can get apparel. We love for you guys to get the hoodies and t-shirts at blackbottomman.com. On behalf of the Black Bottom Man team and my lovely co-host, the lovely Miss Janice, I'm Brother Mike. I'll catch you on the flip side. The black side, baby. Peace.
Got that show in the books.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Black by Demand radio show.
Control. They said she wouldn't, so they didn't know if she had a weapon. So it's just a mess. So yeah, you do have to have these discussions with your children.
You do. And you have to make them aware of that there is an enemy out there. Every time the police pull you over or every time you have an interaction with the police as a black person, you are at risk of being in front of your enemy. Hopefully, it's not a police officer that wants to demonstrate that he's your enemy, but we all see it's a high probability of that being the case. So if we're not talking to our children do not have the coping mechanisms to deal with these type of intense situations. What they're going to do is what most of us do as black people, me and anyone else, which is become emotional. And that is the trigger point for the police. They know that black people are emotional people. So when they arrive on the scene, they are purposely trying to say and do things to you to get your emotions up, right? And then once they get your emotions up, then it's like, oh, that's what we needed.